Let's start in mountain pose. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for coming. So feel your feet grounded on your mat, roll your shoulders back, elongate the back of the neck. You can use your intention in your breath to breathe the earth energy up through your feet, all the way up your spine to the crown of your head. Our awareness of being on the earth and connected to the earth. And now focusing on the crown of the head and all of the energy above you. Aware of the space that surrounds the earth and is a playground for all the planets and the stars. So inhale, drawing that energy down through the crown to the feet. Taking our awareness to the heart space and opening our heart portals. Breathing in everything in front of you. Aware of everything behind you. To the right of you. And to the left. Let's breathe it all in. Bringing the hands to the heart. We'll do 3 more sun breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Breathe it in. And out. Let's place our hands on our shoulders. We'll warm up the shoulder girdle. Circle your elbows towards your camera as if you were drawing big circles. Excuse me. I have a mosquito in here. And I know, I just did that horrible thing. Sent it to God. All right, here we go. So circle towards the camera. And circle in the opposite direction. Let's lift our elbows and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's shrug the shoulders, rolling them back, rolling them forward. And we'll finish with raising the elbows, hands on the shoulders, and opening the elbows as wide as you can, really opening the heart space. Inhale. Exhale, touch the elbows. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then again, lower the arms. Shrug the shoulders. Let's separate our feet, bend the knees, and start to gently fold forward, bringing your hands to the floor, your head hanging forward, and breathe. And then gently curling up, Arms up over the head and hands to the heart. Now we're going to bend the knees, fold forward. Bring your fingertips towards the floor. Feel your upper body resting on your thighs. And grab your elbows for a rag doll. Breathing deeply. Two more breaths. Arms out to the side. Push through the legs. Inhale, come up. Hands to the heart. Stepping the feet together. Roll the shoulders back. We'll do some lateral flexion of the spine, reaching the arms up. Interlace the fingers, index points up. Inhale, breathe. Lift the ribs, exhale over to the right. Really connect through your feet. Feel the strength in your legs, maybe engage your hips. Inhale, come back up to center. Same thing over to the other side. Feet grounded, legs strong, head lifted between the arms. And we come back up to center. Lower the arms down. Let's do a backstroke, reaching up and back. And then a forward stroke, reaching up and over towards the camera, each side. Relax the shoulders, lengthen the spine. Nice deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms up over the head and cross the arms, and then bring them down. And now again, and cross with the other arm in front and down. Each time we lift, we change which arm is in front. And let your movements be slow. And then shrug those shoulders. We're going to do our rag doll, and then we're going to also bring some movement in it, bringing those arms up over the head, bending the knees, and then lowering and coming back down. So first, let's just bend the knees and let the hands hang forward. Let the head go. Grab the elbows. And you can feel gravity drawing the shoulders and the head, creating space in the spine. Now pressing into your feet. Let's start to move the arms up to the left as we start to push through the legs and come up over the top and down over to the right. Bend the knees. Inhale up to the left. Over the top, exhale down to the right. Inhale up to the left. Over the top, exhale down to the right. Inhale up to the left. And exhale down to the right. Stay here. Take a deep breath. And now we'll move to the right. Inhale right. Over the top, exhale to the left. Inhale right. Exhale to the left. Inhale right. Exhale to the left. Now let go of the elbows, arms to the side, press into the feet, come up, and bring the hands to the heart. Arms alongside the body. Roll your shoulders down and back. Let's let the head come forward. And then lifting the head back up. Let it drop back. Lift your chin towards the ceiling. And now with your chin lifted, you'll tilt to the right and you'll tilt to the left. So drop the head back, lift the chin, right and left. And we come back up to center. We're going to bring our left ear towards our left shoulder and let the right shoulder be heavy. Bringing the head to center, right ear towards right shoulder, let the head be heavy. And coming back to center. Inhale. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. Inhale, center. Let the head drop forward. Roll the head over the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, down over the left shoulder. Switch directions. Inhale, up over the left shoulder. Exhale, down over the right shoulder. Switch directions over the right, down over the left, up over the left, down over the right. Let's bring the head back up to center. We're going to do a few backward and forward bends. So feet together ideally, but if you need to separate the feet a little bit, that's good too. Inhale, reach the arms up. Press into the feet, engage the legs, tighten the buttocks, lift the chest. Exhale, start to bend the knees and fold forward. Let your hands touch the floor, let your head go. Inhale, hands to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands at the heart. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. And hands at the heart. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up and back. And hands to heart. Now let's come down to our seats. So I'm going to turn sideways, but you don't have to. And we're going to have our knees bent. We're resting on our heels. Our toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to lean back so that my arms are straight. Lift your heart and arch your back. You'll feel yourself come up onto the sit bones. And then round your back, tuck your chin and hips. And feel yourself roll onto your sacrum and your tailbone. Inhale over the tailbone onto the sit bones. Exhale over the tailbone onto the sacrum. Inhale, we come into a seated cow pose. Exhale, seated cat pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. In and out. One more, cow, and then cat. And we bring our spine erect. We're going to come center and bring the bottom of the feet together and walk the hips and heels close to each other. Interlacing the hands over the toes. We'll flutter the knees, lift the heart, lengthen the spine, and take some nice deep breaths. Feel the hips moving in the hip sockets. One more deep breath. Now let your elbows relax, maybe bringing them to the front of the shins. Let your head and shoulders relax. Notice where you're feeling any stretches or tension. And then we come back up. We're going to move our seat back a little bit, creating about 18 to 20 inches between the heels and the sit bones. And then gently folding forward, let the elbows rest on the shins. Place your thumbs to the inside of your arches, and you can gently press, maybe right behind the ball of the foot for starters. Let the upper body relax. Maybe pressing your elbows into your shins and drawing your spine, lifting it a little bit, straightening it, taking the roundness out of the back. You can feel how you're folding at the hips rather than the waist. And then we come back up. Let's shake the legs out. Circle the feet. Circle in the opposite direction. Bend your knees. And ease your upper body onto your thighs. See if you can grab your feet with your knees bent. And just let your upper body press into the thighs. Elbows bend alongside the legs. Rather than let the head drop forward, see about lifting the head and making an extension of your spine. And now keeping the contact between your upper body and your thighs, just start to inch your heels forward and feel yourself move onto those sit bones. Breathing into your lower back, your SI joint, wherever you're feeling the stretch. If you're feeling rounded right now, just draw those shoulders down and back. It's going to lift your head a little bit and extend through the spine. Then gently come up. Roll the shoulders back. So we're going to move sideways here. You don't have to, but I will for you. And again, we want the heels away from our sit bones and the knees falling outward. So we're going to do a second forward fold. in this butterfly pose, a relaxed butterfly. And the elbows resting in front of the shins, bending from the hips. So notice if I round my back, it looks like this. But if I lift my heart, draw my shoulders down, I have a straight spine or a straighter spine. And that's what we're going for. Breathing deeply, just allowing ourselves to soften. And then we come back up, stretch the legs out, and shake the legs. Let's bend the knees and rest the upper body on the thighs. Grab the feet and really feel the thighs and the upper body making contact. Slowly sliding your heels out, one and then the other. Again, sliding the heels out, one and the other. And maybe you can even go a little further, just so you keep that contact between the upper body and the thighs. You can roll your shoulders down and back. Maybe a little bit further forward. And then we come up, shake off the legs, point and flex the feet a few times. And we'll come onto our knees. So let's separate our knees, toes together. Drop the heels, drop the hips back towards the heels. And stretch the arms out in front of you, forehead to the floor. Nice deep breath. And then coming back onto the hands and knees. Inhale. Coming into cow, let the belly drop towards the floor. The hips tilt up, the head tilts up. And then exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, press into the hands. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's bring the knees together and try a child's pose where you bring your hips back to the heels. Bring your arms alongside the legs, palms up towards the ceiling. Let the shoulders relax and breathe. One more deep breath. As we gently curl up. Let's take and place our left hand on the floor and bring the right arm up and over. We're doing a kneeling crescent moon. And then come back up. And we're going to stretch up and over to the opposite side. And back up to center. Coming onto the knees, let's curl the toes under, place the hands in the small of the back, and push the hips forward. Lift the heart, shoulders down and back, shoulder blades together. And now we're going to lower ourselves down onto the floor. And focus on our hips. So do cactus arms and turn your head to the left. And then maybe take the left knee and draw it up, bend it, and open it to the side. And take a few deep breaths. Try bringing your head center. And then turning the head to the opposite side. Coming back through center. Turn the head to the side. And we'll straighten that leg. So we're going to do a cactus leg over to this side, bending at the knee, the ankle right under the knee, the side of the knee and the side of the foot resting on the floor. Breathing deeply. We start out with our head turned in the same direction as our knee. And then we can bring the head center and turn it to the left and see how that feels. And bringing the head center, we're going to release the legs and just move your hips from side to side. Let's come on to our forearms, elbows under our shoulders, hands straight out in front of us for a Sphinx pose. Press your arms into your yoga mat as if you're trying to draw your hips through your arms. You're going to feel a big stretch up the front of the body. And then if you like, open your hands out to the corners of your mat and straighten the arms for seal pose. Shoulders down, gaze straight forward. Then bringing the elbows down, forehead to the floor, arms out to the side like a letter T. We're going to take that left hand and we're going to bring it under the left shoulder. The elbow is close to the rib. And we're going to push onto our right side. You could have your legs stacked, or you could drop that left leg behind you and breathe. So you're experiencing a deep shoulder stretch on the right shoulder. This also affects the chest and the pectoralis major and minor because they attach right there where your shoulder is making contact with the floor. You can take the left hand and you can press on that breastbone a little bit all the way down and then all the way back up. And then we'll lower back onto our stomach, forehead on the floor, arms out to the side. I'm going to take my right hand and place it under my shoulder, elbow is close to the rib, as I roll onto the left side, and I'm going to drop my right leg back. Breathe. Now on this side, I'm aware of my left hip and the weight of my body pressing into the left side of my hip. And I'm just going to breathe through that. It could be a little tight from walking or any number of things I've been doing. And as I breathe, I feel that start to ease. And that's some restricted muscle attachments starting to ease and let go. I can also take this right hand and I can work up and down the sternum. Just getting a little bit of those attachments for the pectoralis muscles on the sternum. And then I'm going to come back onto my stomach. Place my hands under my shoulders and come up. I can choose to have my knees together for child's pose and my arms out in front of me, or knees wide and my arms out in front of me. Or I can have the knees together and the arms alongside the legs. So you have 3 choices there. Taking a few deep breaths. And then bringing the hands back, bring the knees together, and try out one of the other choices. So if you had your knees together, separate the knees. And if you had your knees separated, try bringing the knees together and the arms alongside the legs. Let's come on to the hands and knees. And we're going to come into our downward facing dog, curl the toes under, push the hips up towards the ceiling. Head down in between the arms. Try rolling your shoulder blades away from the spine, creating a little bit of an interior rotation in the arms, and then an exterior rotation. Then find that comfortable spot. Breathing deeply. Let's pedal the knees, or walk the dog as we refer to it. Stretching out the right Achilles and then the left. Push through the hands out through the tailbone, and we'll bring the hands and feet together. Forward bend. Inhale, half lift. Hands on the shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up. And hands to the heart. Now we're going to do a basic warrior 1 and warrior 2. So we're going to separate our feet a nice distance apart. And we're going to turn our right foot out. And I'm going to drop my left heel back so that my hips can comfortably square off with the front of the mat. I want to make sure that the ball of my foot and my heel are making contact, and I'm not rolling out onto the side of my foot. I'm going to bend my knee and maybe do that a couple times, making sure I feel comfortable and stable. And then bending the knee. Bring both arms up alongside the ears. And you have options here. Maybe it's comfortable for you to just have your hands parallel, fingertips wide. Feel that stretch in the palm of the hands. Or maybe you'd like to interlace those fingers with the index pointing up for a Hanuman. So that mudra is also known for Hanuman. And Hanuman represents the power of God in movement. And now we straighten the leg. Let's do a little back bend. Keeping the leg straight, bring the hands to the hips and come halfway. Breathing deeply. Really be in your feet. Press into both feet, use the legs. And then come back up. Roll the shoulders back. Bring the feet forward. To the opposite side, turn the left foot out. I'm going to drop the heel back, creating an angle in my back foot. And I'm turning my shoulders and my hips to be square with the front of the mat. I want to make sure that I'm stable. So I'm going to just bend my knee a few times and let my feet find their perfect place to be. Then I bring the arms up alongside the ears, breathing deeply. Separate those fingers, feel the stretch in the palms of the hands. The gaze is up towards the ceiling, or you can clasp the hands, index points up. Try moving those arms directly over the head and relaxing the shoulders down. Be aware of your feet and that you're using the feet completely. Feel your toes pressing into the floor, the ball of the foot, the ball behind the great toe, the outside edges of the foot, and the heel. Let's straighten the front leg. A little bit of a backward bend. Reach. And then bring the hands to the hips. Use your legs. Remember, Velcro feet, as if your feet are Velcro to your mat. Pushing forward with the front foot, pushing back with the back foot, but the feet aren't going anywhere. And the core is engaged when we use our legs. And then we come back up. Let's bring our feet forward, roll the shoulders back, step the feet together. Nice deep breath. Separating the feet. We're going to turn one foot out. And you may want to drop this heel back a little bit. You might want to keep the leg straight. We're going to keep our shoulders facing towards the camera. And our arms are going to come up parallel to the floor. Now you might want to test your knee, bending it, making sure that you have enough distance in between the legs. And let the feet find their comfortable position. We want to make sure that the knee tracks over the pinky toe. So the knee does not fall forward, but it stays pointing over the toe. We want the head to stay over the hips. So we don't want to be reaching out like this. We want our head over our hips, but our gaze is over the right hand. So I have my right foot turned out. I'm gazing over my right hand. Drop the shoulders down. Take a nice deep breath. Reach out through the fingertips. One more deep breath. Turn the palm up. And we'll come into a side bend, reach up and back. And then back into your warrior two. And then straighten the leg, lower the arms, feet come forward, roll the shoulders back. to the opposite side. I'm turning the left foot out. I'm going to bend that knee and find my position for my feet on the floor. And just move it a couple times. I want that knee to track straight out over the foot. I don't want it to fall inward. Arms come up. Let's reach them up. And then let the shoulders drop down and reach out through the arms. Look out over the left hand. Bend the knee. Head over the hips. And breathe deeply. Velcro feet. Nice deep breaths. Let's turn the palm up and we'll do a side stretch. And back to warrior two. Straighten the legs, lower the arms, roll the shoulders back, feet come forward, step the feet together. Nice deep breath. So let's stimulate the energy of the chakras today. And we're going to start with those 3 fingers. If you bring all the fingers together, it's a healing mudra. And so if you feel there's healing that needs to be done in your body, you can use all your fingers together. And if your wish is for good health or whatever, you can bring the 3 fingers together. All of it works. We're going to tap on the thighs. And the thighs are a nice activation center for root chakra. And it's our connection to the earth. The earth is the element of that chakra. And so we're earthlings, we're earth beings. We're here with all these other earth beings of all forms and shapes and sizes. And we all have jobs to do on the earth. So we breathe deeply. So earth is the element. And think of that loamy earth in between your fingers. And shake it off. Then below the navel, between the pubic bone and navel, is your second chakra. And it has to do with creativity and everything we create, each other and everything all around us, and how creative we are with dealing with everything else on the earth. The element is water, and our bodies are over 90% water. So we're really affected by the moon, right? Of course, the earth is the planet, and second chakra is the moon. And shake it off. And now coming up above the navel, the solar plexus area, we're going to tap here. So the element is fire, and the planet is the sun. And this gives us our charge, our spark to do things and be active and have the will and the courage. And when any of the chakras or energy centers are slightly out of balance, we could have adverse reactions. And those are the days where maybe a little down, a little depressed, or a little annoyed, or more, right? And shake it off. Then we come into the heart area, and this is the heart chakra. And the planet is Venus, Vina, love. And the element is air. You know, and air is a big factor in us being alive. So that's the air element. And if the heart is not on board, oftentimes we won't do things. The mind might say, let's do it, but if the heart says no, then it might not happen. And shake it off. At the neck, you could tap anywhere in the neck that's comfortable, is the throat chakra. And of course, it has to do with communication. The planet is Mercury, and the element is ether. Breathing deeply. And how we communicate between the head and the heart, how we communicate with all systems in the body, and how we communicate with the world around us. Let's shake that off. We're coming up in between the forehead as we work with sixth chakra. And this is your psychic center. We all have some psychic ability. We all get these little impressions, and then, oops, we think of somebody and they call. Or any of those types of things. And this has to do with waves of sound, waves of light, sonar waves, all the waves. And we're also tapping here on the frontal lobe, and that's very good for the frontal cortex. And release and relax. So at the crown of the head, this is seventh chakra, and there are other chakras that are outside the body. I think maybe 12 altogether. So seventh chakra is our connection to this energy that makes the whole world and the solar system happen. And as you inhale and exhale through your nose, you're making a natural mantra that goes with this system. And we're tapping here on the parietal area of the head, where the left and right hemisphere of the brain come together and work together and separately. So release, relax, shake it off. Let's march in place. So precise movements. Feel your elbows glide alongside your ribs. And you can see your fists coming up in front of your shoulders. And we have the opposite arm and leg in action at all times. And if you find that you're doing the same leg and the same arm, regroup and start over, because that's sending mixed up messages to the brain. So what we're doing is recalibrating when we do these kind of movements. And I've had conversations and messages and emails from people that tell me they march to the bathroom, or they do marching when they're out on their walk, or they walk with arms and hands in opposition. And relax. Nice deep breath. So if you're going to walk with arms and hands in opposition, your palms face the body, your thumbs are pointing forward. So when you notice people will walk with their hands turned out, or their arms rotated in, or one's in and one's out, arms cross in front of the body, legs, pigeon this way, or, with an outward movement. One leg is straight, the other one kicks out. And all these things create imbalances in the body. And over years, if we've been doing it for years, create ankle, knee, hip, joint problems, back problems, shoulder problems. If your arm is swinging in front of your body for 54 years, chances are your right shoulder doesn't feel as good as the left shoulder that just does this. So that's why opposition and precise movements. So when you were walking, you would be doing opposite hand, opposite leg, and we would be keeping this precise movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can really get going. You can really haul when you walk this way. And the idea is to not be talking to people, not be turning this way and that way, not be holding onto the leash of the dog. This arm's doing it and this arm's not, right? It's like a thing you do with yourself, for yourself. Even if you just go and do it for 10 minutes, but do it that way, it's much more beneficial than trying to do it while you're walking the dog for an hour, because it just isn't working. So we like to do that when we can, and you can make a great power walk out of it. All right. Let's cross over. We're going to cross the right leg over the left. And we're going to place the hands on the hips. We're going to fold forward. You can bring your hands to the floor. You can bring them to your blocks. Or you could take and clasp your hands behind your body. Open those shoulders. Let the head go. And breathe. And then we come back up. So let's try it with the arms clasped in front of the body, and maybe this time the opposite arm in front. And then fold forward. Don't sweat it if you don't remember, it's okay. Let your arms hang. Feel the weight of the arms and the head. And then bring the arms back into the body. Come back up. Let's bring the arms up over the head. If they're not comfortable like this, you can hold them up over the head any way you like. And a little stretch over to the left. Coming back up to center. A little stretch over to the right. And back up to center. We'll lower the arms down, shrug the shoulders, uncross the legs. To the opposite side, left over right. And again, we're going to grab the elbows behind the back and notice which arm's in front, so to speak. We're going to fold forward and take a nice deep breath. Sorry about the phone. Yes, I didn't turn my phone down. And then we come back up. And so we're going to cross the opposite way and fold forward. Arms close to the body to start out. And then let the arms go, let the head hang, breathe deeply. Bring the arms in, we come up. And then arms up over the head. You can uncross your legs anytime you want. If you're not feeling stable, that's all right. You can hold on to something with the wall or the chair. We're going to do a little stretch over to one side. Come back up to center. And a stretch over to the other side. And back up to center. Let's bring the arms down. And let's come down to the floor. So we'll take our blocks and lie back on our back. We're going to lift our hips and place the block under the hips and make sure the block is really right across the pelvis. You can just use one block if you like and raise your legs up towards the ceiling. Or you could use a second block. And raise the legs up towards the ceiling. If your blocks feel like they're going to push out, like if you feel them tilting, you don't have your blocks under your hips enough. So you want them to be supported and stable. And if you can use 2 blocks, it definitely brings your hips up higher than your heart. You can also do this against the wall, legs up the wall, and elevate the hips with your blocks. So let's focus on 5 deep inhalations and exhalations. Slow breathing, legs up the wall. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in and out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Last one, in, and breathe out. So let's bring our legs down. We'll lift our hips up. Move 1 block. If all feels well, we'll move the other block. Let's draw our knees into our chest. Take a nice deep breath. A little rocking from side to side, maybe. Feel your back and the muscles of the back, the hips, your shoulders. Just taking inventory. We'll place the feet together on the floor and the arms out to the side. We're going to do a gentle spinal twist. If you want to do any variation of that, you can. We're going to lower the legs over to the right and turn the head to the left. Let's take 3 deep, long breaths. Breathe in and out. 2 more. And we come back up, over to the opposite side. 3 breaths, nice and slow, just like we did on the other side. We come back up to center. Let's take and place the right ankle on the left knee. Take your 3 fingers, the first 3 fingers, and place them in the navel, and the other 3 fingers in between the brow. We're going to do the hook up. And so maybe pick something simple that's going to happen today. You want it to really work out, and let's envision that, where it's going to happen, with who it's going to happen, just how you would like to see it be. Inhale and hook up, pull upward. And release. Switch the legs, left ankle on the right knee. And now, right hand in the navel area. So those 3 fingers, left hand between the brows, same thing. Envision it, it's called the hook up. And we draw the navel and in between the brows up towards the top of the head. Keep that tension on and breathe. And release. So find a shavasana that works for you, a resting pose for your meditation. Your legs can be arm long and your arms out at the side. Your knees can be bent and your feet wide, knees resting on each other. You can lie on your side with your arm under your head in the fetal position. And you can sit up for a meditative pose. We stay with that breath. We act as the witness to what is happening in our body. We're aware of thoughts, but we just witness them. We don't get caught up in them. Today we have a quote by Robert Johnson, outlasting the fog. To be near something beautiful or precious, but to be unable to experience it, is the subtlest possible form of torture. We all have these moments when the roses lose its color for some reason, or the music no longer stirs us, or the sweet, gentle soul across from us no longer seems to soften our heart. To move in and out of meaning is as natural as moving in and out of light, because clouds form and dissipate. It becomes torture, though, when we believe that the rose is no longer colorful, or that the music is no longer stirring, or worse, when we conclude that the person across from us is no longer gentle or sweet. In truth, worse than not seeing at all is seeing but not being touched by what we see. Certainly these things and people change. The simpatico of our needs can shift, but we have no chance of recognizing real change or loss if we cannot recognize and accept our inability at times to feel what we see. Often the emotional tragedies of life begin when we rearrange our lives, changing partners, religions, and jobs in an effort to find a sense of meaning that is sleeping numbly within us. It reminds me of a man who built a home on a cliff by the sea, only to have a month-long fog roll in. He cursed the place and moved away, but a week after he'd gone, the fog cleared. Being human, we all have fogs roll in around our heart, and often our lives depend on the quiet courage to wait for them to clear. So taking our focus into that clear heart space that sometimes gets fogged up, but sometimes because we are aware of our breath and our body and what we're doing, that heart space becomes immense and big. And it has plenty of room in it to want the whole world to be safe and healthy, happy, free from suffering, and living with ease of heart. Namaste, have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this class. See you tomorrow.